Here.
Sharan.
Here.
O'Neill.
Here.
Mills.
Here.
Collier.
Here.
Peterson.
Here.
Holt.
Here.
We have quorum.
We have quorum, thank you. I understand we have a sub-hitter here on our invocation tonight. Reverend Larry Sparks will come up and pray for us, our welfare, and all who wish to, please rise.
Let's bow our hearts and our heads as we go to the Lord in prayer. First of all, Father, we want to thank you for all of the multiple days and hours and weeks and months that these ones who have served our city so unselfishly over this past period of time, and they did so because they love Shawnee. And I pray that you will bless them and bless their efforts. May they continue. So thank you, Lord, for each one of them as Chuck and Marva and Tom step aside for others to fill these responsibilities. And we thank you also, Lord, for those incoming. We thank you for Linda Peterson, for James Herod, and for Frank Sims. And we ask, Father, that each one of them will have their heart tuned to you for the wisdom that they need, for the strength. And we pray for this city of Shawnee that it will have every need met. Lord, we have a collective spirit here tonight, and we just want to commit this time and its entirety and every decision and every one that is sworn in into your holy and very capable hands to bless. In the name of Jesus Christ our Lord, amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, position, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Larry. Okay, number one, consider approval of minutes from November 3rd, 2008 meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Schran,
Second.
second by Commissioner Holt. Call roll, please.
Sharan.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
O'Neill.
Aye.
Mills.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries, thank you. Okay, we'll, to clean this up a little, we'll recess this meeting to convene the Shawnee Municipal Authority meeting to pass the minutes from the previous meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Holt,
Second.
second by Commissioner Collier. Call roll, please.
Holt.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sharan.
Aye.
O'Neill.
Aye.
Mills.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries, thank you. We'll recess that meeting and open the meeting for the Shawnee Airport Authority to pass the minutes from the previous meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Holt,
Second.
second by Commissioner Collier. Call roll, please.
Holt.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sharan.
Aye.
O'Neill.
Aye.
Mills.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries, thank you. Okay, we will now reconvene the City Commission meeting. And number two is to consider a resolution of appreciation to Thomas Schran, City Commissioner, Ward 2 of the City of Shawnee. Is that not right?
No, we have to, while we're recessed, we have to convene the municipal authority and do the same thing.
Oh, did we not do that? Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, so I'm recessing the Shawnee
We did.
Airport Authority.
We did.
Okay.
We did.
Who's on first?
Yeah. We did both.
Are we okay?
Yeah.
We're okay? Okay. This is a little weird. Obviously, we've not done this before. Okay, back to considering the resolution of appreciation to Tom Schran, City Commissioner, Ward 2 of the City of Shawnee.
So move.
Thank you. Motion
Second.
by Vice Mayor Stevens, second by
Second.
Commissioner Peterson. Call roll, please.
First by Stevens, I'm sorry, I lost you there
Peterson.
for a minute.
At least didn't die for lack of a second.
All right,
Been there
Stevens,
before.
Aye.
Peterson,
Aye.
Holt,
Aye.
Sharan,
Aye.
O'Neill. Mills,
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Can't believe you didn't say nay.
I thought of it.
Okay, number 3. Oh, consider resolution of appreciation to Miss Marva O'Neill, City Commissioner, Ward 3 of the City of Shawnee.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Holt, second by Commissioner Collier. Call roll, please.
Holt,
Aye.
Collier,
Aye.
Peterson,
Aye.
Stevens,
Aye.
Sharan,
Aye.
O'Neill, Mills.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Are you going to make it through here without cracking up? Come on now.
So far.
You're having too much fun. Number 4, consider resolution of appreciation to Chuck Mills, Mayor, City of Shawnee.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
by Commissioner Collier, second by Commissioner Holt. Call roll, please.
Collier,
Aye.
Holt,
Aye.
Stevens,
Aye.
Sharan,
Aye.
O'Neill, Mills,
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to have the presentation of resolutions of appreciation and plaques to myself and Commissioner Schran and Commissioner O'Neill, and then a swearing in. So we're going to go down there.
Let's go.
Vice Mayor Stevens and I and my fellow commissioners. Pack your stuff up. Come on down. Okay, this is resolution number 6340, a resolution expressing appreciation for the outstanding service of Thomas Schran as City Commissioner of Ward 2 of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma, providing that said resolution be spread upon the official records of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma, and providing that a copy hereof be presented to said Thomas Schran. Whereas Thomas Schran has been the duly elected, qualified, and acting Commissioner of Ward 2 since the 3rd day of May 2004. And whereas the said Thomas Schran has been said to be a man with the courage to fight for what he believes in, a good citizen, and a worthy representative of the City of Shawnee. And whereas the said Thomas Schran has contributed to making many important decisions affecting thousands of lives, conveying his mature judgment and expertise to those decisions, all the while maintaining a level of unsurpassed integrity. And whereas he has been instrumental in the accomplishments of the city that includes economic and cultural development, public safety, ongoing street improvement programs, and beautification of the community. And whereas it is both fitting and proper for this governing body to officially recognize the said Thomas Schran and the accomplishments made in our city. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma, that they hereby express their sincere appreciation and gratitude to Thomas Schran for his distinguished service to the City of Shawnee. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the official records of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma, and that a copy hereof be presented to Thomas Schran with the desire that he shall continue to contribute his talents and energy to the betterment of the city, and that he shall enjoy much happiness, good health, and good fortune for the years to come. Passed and approved this 17th day of November 2008. Where's that? Put it on the flat thing.
Thank you.
Okay. Here's the other. All right, Ms. Marva. Resolution number 6341. A resolution expressing appreciation for the outstanding service of Marva O'Neill as City Commissioner of Ward 3 of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma, providing that said resolution be spread upon the official records of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma, and providing that a copy hereof be presented to said Marva O'Neill. Whereas Marva O'Neill has been the duly elected, qualified, and acting commissioner of Ward 3 since the 3rd day of May 2004. And whereas the said Marva O'Neill has been said to be a woman with the courage to fight for what she believes in, a good citizen, and a worthy representative of the city of Shawnee. And whereas the said Marva O'Neill has contributed to making many important decisions affecting thousands of lives, conveying her mature judgment and expertise to those decisions, all the while maintaining a level of unsurpassed integrity. And whereas she has been instrumental in the accomplishments of the city that includes economic and cultural development, public safety, ongoing street improvement programs, and beautification of the community. And whereas it is both fitting and proper for this governing body to officially recognize the said Marva O'Neill and the accomplishments made in our city. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma, that they hereby express their sincere appreciation and gratitude to Marva O'Neill for her distinguished service to the City of Shawnee. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the official records of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma, and that a copy hereof be presented to Marva O'Neill with the desire that she shall continue to contribute her talents and energy to the betterment of the city, and that she shall enjoy much happiness, good health, and good fortune in the years to come. Passed and approved this 17th day of November, 2008. Ms. Marva? Get your clap.
Your turn. Here we have resolution number 6342, a resolution expressing appreciation for the outstanding service of Chuck Mills as mayor of the city of Shawnee, Oklahoma, providing that said resolution be spread upon the official records of the city of Shawnee, Oklahoma, and providing that a copy hereof be presented to said Chuck Mills. Whereas Chuck Mills has been duly elected, qualified, and acting mayor since the 3rd day of May 2004. And whereas the said Chuck Mills has been said to be a man with the courage to fight for what he believes in, a good citizen, and a worthy representative of the city of Shawnee. And whereas the said Chuck Mills has contributed to making many important decisions affecting thousands of lives, conveying his mature judgment and expertise to those decisions, all the while maintaining a level of unsurpassed integrity. And whereas he has been instrumental in the accomplishments of the city that includes economic and cultural development, public safety, ongoing street improvement programs, and beautification of the community. And whereas it is both fitting and proper for this governing body to officially recognize the said Chuck Mills and the accomplishments made in our city. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma, that they hereby express their sincere appreciation and gratitude to Chuck Mills for his distinguished service to the City of Shawnee. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the official records of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma, and that a copy hereof be presented to Chuck Mills with the desire that he shall continue to contribute his talents and energy to the betterment of the city, and that he shall enjoy much happiness, good health, and good fortune in the years to come. Passed and approved the 17th day of November, 2008.
Being the last one, I get the microphone one more time. I just want to say quickly that it's been an honor and a privilege for me to serve my hometown as mayor, and I hope that no one's been too disappointed that I've tried to be a good representative of our community, a good cheerleader, a good salesperson. I'm not going away. I'll still be around and helping wherever I can. I hope that Tom and Marva will do the same. You know, once this, you see what needs to be done and you see all the great people in this community, it makes you want to continue to serve and serve and serve. So I hope that you don't see the last of all of us here tonight. So thank you very much for the privilege of having this opportunity. And we have our mayor from Tecumseh here, John Collier, too. So you guys thank him as well, because we have great relationships now with
to come for the first time in many years. So thank you for coming. I believe now the judge will come up and swear in our new commissioners first and the mayor second. They will be sworn in up here. So if the commissioners-elect would please go to your seat, and the mayor-elect would go to the middle seat. We'll have our swearing-in ceremony and some refreshments afterwards. Judge?
I think officially, just to make it all official, item number 6 is the swearing in of the mayor and commissioners by Municipal Judge Robert H. Jones and the presentation of their certificates of election.
We'll swear the commissioners in first and then the mayor. If you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, your name,
Billy Dawson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and that I will not
and I will not
knowingly receive,
knowingly receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money
any money
or other valuable thing
or other valuable thing
for the performance
for the performance
or non-performance
or non-performance
of any act
of any act
or duty
or duty
pertaining to my office,
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation
other than the compensation
allowed by law.
allowed by law.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
my duties
my duties
as commissioners of the City of Shawnee
as Commissioner of the City of Shawnee
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. You'll raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I,
I,
your name,
Linda Peterson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and that I will not
and that I will not
knowingly receive,
knowingly receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money
any money
or other valuable thing
or other valuable thing
for the performance
for the performance
or
or
non-performance
non-performance
of any act or duty
of any act or duty
pertaining to my office,
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation
other than the compensation
allowed by law.
allowed by law.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
my duties
my duties
as mayor of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma,
as mayor of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma,
to the best of my
to the
ability,
best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We will now recess for a reception in the lobby, so please join us.
I'll reconvene the City of Shawnee Commission meeting November 17th. Item number 7, consider approval of agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Holt. Second. Second by Commissioner Sims.
Can we move an item,
Yes, you may.
the one on executive session, can we not move it to last or further down the list or something?
We have an attorney here that's on the clock, so that's why it's.
Okay,
Okay.
no problem.
Any other comments? Okay, call roll, please.
Holt,
Aye.
Sims,
Aye.
Harrod,
Aye.
Peterson,
Aye.
Collier,
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Number 8, consider approval of consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Collier, second by Commissioner Harrod. Any comments? Call roll, please.
Collier.
Aye.
Harrod.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 9, citizens' participation. Do you have anyone else who wants to speak? Come on, Tom. Yeah. I'm ready.
First time.
Good evening. Who's got the? Tom Smith. I'm here representing the veterans, Shawnee, Oklahoma. I missed the last three meetings for personal reasons. A lot of you have become accustomed to me coming up here and raising a little sand occasionally, but tonight I'm on my best behavior. So I'll try to welcome to the new club, ladies and gentlemen. While I was out of town, you were approached and requested to participate in our Veterans Park, and we got a commitment of $50,000 from you. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart because I've been working so hard to get this park built. We've got a commitment also from the mayor, but I also understand there's a little bit more money that has been authorized that we could request from the commission. Some time back there was a raffle held, a penny a vote on the most beautiful mother, father, or whatever it was of the city, and the fund was put into the city coffers. And I understand that request has been made that this money be donated to the park. Are you aware of what we're discussing?
Are you talking about the funds in the Centennial account?
Yes.
Okay.
I have no idea what it is, but at the present time, we've got a bunch of money to raise, and we are taking money wherever we can get it, asking for all that we can get, any that we can get. And I understand this must be a formal request. Therefore, so be it.
Okay.
And I hope this board that I have in front of me tonight is as easy to work with as it has been in the past. If you'll accept me as I am, I'll work with you as much as I can, but you do have to watch me because I get sneaky once in a while. I'm a good guy, and I thank you. Welcome to the club, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Anyone else? Okay. Item number 10, presentation by interim city manager to employee of the month, Bryson Moore of the Shawnee Police Department.
This will take a while. Bryson wrote this song. Okay, let me just read this. Corporal Bryson Moore will celebrate 14 years of service with the Shawnee Police Department in January. While being assigned to patrol, Bryson spent 7.5 years on the Shawnee Police Department Tactical Unit. Bryson is a CLEAT certified firearms instructor and feels very privileged to provide in-service training for the department in the area of both firearms and use of force. Bryson is currently assigned to the day shift patrol, department bicycle team, and the police department gang unit. Corporal Moore has previously received accolades such as recognitions from the Shawnee Chamber of Commerce for friendliest employee, an commendation pin for crime suppression from the Shawnee Police Department, and a Medal of Valor from the Police Department. The most important thing about Corporal Bryson Moore is that he is married to his best friend Angie Moore, and they have 2 wonderful children, a 9-year-old daughter Abigail and their 5-year-old son Isaac. That's, yeah. And I saw a wonderful training video the other day in which he is a star, and he did an excellent job. Shake your hand. Yes, and let you speak if you'd like to.
Oh, knew all of the truly great employees that the city has, not just other police officers and fire department personnel, but everybody from Public Works to the ladies and everybody upstairs, you'd probably understand this is something to be happy about. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, number 11. Consideration and possible action to enter into an executive session to discuss pending litigation entitled Blaco Construction, LLC versus City of Shawnee et al., case number CJ08165, District Court, Pottawatomie County, Oklahoma, pursuant to 25 OS 307B4 on recommendation of counsel.
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Harrod,
Second.
second by Commissioner Collier. Call roll, please.
Harrod,
Aye.
Collier,
Aye.
Holt,
Aye.
Stevens,
Aye.
Sims,
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carried. Thank you. We will go into executive session.
Where? Downstairs.
You ready? Okay, well, call this meeting back to order in here,
You don't have John.
and we'll wait a minute for our city attorney. And the city manager. Okay, item number 12, consider matters discussed in executive session regarding pending litigation entitled Blaco Construction, LLC versus City of Shawnee et al., case number CJ08165, District Court, Pottawatomie County, Oklahoma, pursuant to 25 OS 307B4 on recommendation of counsel. Do we have any motions as a result of our information downstairs? Okay, informational only. Item number 13, public hearing and consider approval to rezone property at 1318 East Independence from A1 Agricultural to C2 Suburban Office. Applicant Douglas Combs, case number P3208. Public hearing is now open. Staff report.
Thank you. Case number P3208 concerns a request to allow for office uses in an existing structure that is presently utilized as a dance school / studio. The property is currently zoned A1, which is rural agricultural, and the applicant is proposing a classification of C2 suburban office. No interior or exterior modification of the site is proposed at this time, and the current use also will not be discontinued at this time. This matter was heard at the last Planning Commission meeting. Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval to the City Commission. We had no testimony against that was presented at the hearing, nor have we received any correspondence in the mail. Staff report summarizes the situation at the subject site. also provides a staff analysis and finding staff also concurs with the Planning Commission recommendation and does recommend approval. This property is somewhat unique. Although it appears residential on the outside, it has really always functioned and served as a non-residential use, and has always been was in fact constructed for a dance studio and has been in operation since the early 1980s. Rezoning the subject site to C2 suburban office would allow for professional offices that we see throughout the community. Pretty standard offices under this classification would include things like an accounting office or an attorney's office or some other low impact use that fits into the neighborhood relatively well. You can see by the images that were provided in the staff report that there's some non-residential uses surrounding the site. Immediately to the east, there's a daycare facility that we'll discuss later this evening on another case matter. There's also some multifamily development that is obviously residential, but then further east, there is several offices that are located in the C1 district. And across the street, of course, is Sequoia School. This concludes my summary. Are there any questions at this time?
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone wish to speak for the proposal? Does anyone wish to speak against the proposal? Okay, I'll close the public hearing.
I move we adopt the staff's recommendation, planning commission's recommendation, rezone the property.
Have a motion from Commissioner Harrod and a second from Commissioner Sims. Any additional discussion? Call roll, please.
Harrod.
Oh, read the ordinance.
An ordinance setting zoning classification of the following described property located in the corporate limits of the city of Shawnee, Potawatomi County, Oklahoma to wit. Tract of land described as beginning at the southwest corner of Lot 8, Bradley, 2nd Edition, city of Shawnee, Potawatomi County, Oklahoma. Its east 135 feet, its north 208.6 feet, its west 135 feet, and south 208.6 feet. The point of beginning, zoning said property from A1 agricultural to C2 suburban office and amending the official zoning map of the city of Shawnee accordingly.
Thank you. Now call roll.
Harrod.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 14. What? Public hearing and consider approval of a conditional use permit to allow for a stadium, arena, or similar facility in C4 Central Business District for property located at 110 West Main. Applicant Tracy and Damian Westbrook, case number P33-08. Public hearing is now open. We need a staff report.
Thank you. This proposed activity is essentially a live music venue. It falls under several different classifications under the City of Shawnee zoning ordinance. Some of those require conditional use permit and others do not. And so the applicant has brought this forward this evening to have kind of an all-inclusive approval for their activities. The Planning Commission concurred with staff's recommendation and did recommend approval. However, the Planning Commission did add 2 additional conditions. You'll notice on your page 56, staff had 2 conditions there. Planning Commission added 2 additional conditions. Condition number 3, to address some concerns related to security at the site. They added a condition that would require a minimum of 4 security staff members during all events. They also added a 4th condition. Due to some of the concerns that were expressed, we did receive 1 letter. However, nobody testified against the proposal at the hearing before the Planning Commission. However, we did receive 1 hearing that is in your, 1 letter that was in your packet from Ms. Kilpatrick, who expressed some concerns with the site. Planning Commission added condition number 4, which requires a staff review in 12 months' time. So essentially an annual review where staff will consult with other city staff members, note any problems that we've had at the site, report back to the Planning Commission to see if any corrective measures are necessary. And that's all I have. Any questions?
I do have, there was some discussion at the Planning Commission about the uniforms these people were wearing.
that said security on it. And I believe that it didn't get brought up here, but we would like to see that the material is staff, not security, because there is some questions about security. So the shirts that they wear or whatever they're going to identify, well, I don't want to call them bouncers, but whatever they're going to use, should have staff on there and not security.
Thank you for bringing that up. There is a state licensing requirement where certain individuals can be licensed as security professionals, and so I think the discussion around that centered upon the fact that they may or may not have those licensed individuals, and if they aren't licensed, then they should be referred to as staff as opposed to security.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Based on that, I'd like to recommend that. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa.
How are you going to enforce those annual review?
Yeah. That's a good question. The Planning Commission, if you look at the motion in detail, it doesn't. It's more of an informative review where staff would come to the Planning Commission and provide a review. It doesn't necessarily give the Planning Commission or the City Commission any teeth. We can consider that if you'd like it. The way the condition was written, it just called for kind of a courtesy update, for lack of a better term.
So what can be done to make sure that's that we have some authority, or can we do anything once we approve it?
Well, I think certainly if the applicant is not able to meet any of the conditions, then we can revoke the conditional use permit. Outside of that, I don't know that we have a lot of authority unless there's a real significant issue there. The commission may want to entertain an additional condition that would, or just a modified condition under condition number 4 that would provide more teeth to that. I'd have to give that just a little bit more thought. For example, you could say that if significant issues arose, that the matter could be brought back to a hearing, and that reconsideration of the conditional use permit could occur.
Don, is that possible, you think?
Well, you consider all the negatives you want in making the initial decision. Once you've made the decision, now the court's frown on continue trying to exercise control of use of property once they've met the initial conditions. So I wouldn't want to say that would be more enforceable in court, to tell you the truth.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Any more questions of staff? Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak for this?
Hi.
Hello.
I'm the applicant, part of the applicant, Tracy Westbrook. I think the other thing that the planning, I wanted to tell, I think it was you, the other part of the planning commission, we had talked about police. They're going to pull police reports now and then compare them to the police reports in, I think it was a year. That was one other, and then in 1 year, I think we were going to reconvene. We're only going to operate as long as the city, we are in compliance with the city. I guess, are there any other questions of me being the applicant?
Do you have any questions of her? Or not at this time? Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak for the application? Anyone wish to speak against the request? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Any discussion or a motion?
I make a motion that we approve case P 3308, noting the conditions. The two conditions, and I'm not sure where this, sir, this staff, business, and student security, would that be part of the conditions?
I think you handle it, staff can handle administratively as well.
Okay. Based on that, I make a motion, we approve it.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Holt. Does that include the conditions number 3 and 4?
Yes.
From the Planning Commission?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so a motion by Commissioner Holt, a second by Commissioner Sims. Any further discussion on this?
Are there any, if they fail to meet these criteria, John, what kind of a situation are we in?
The commission never loses police power to do away with a nuisance or a true public safety issue, public safety or health issue. You never do that. Having said that, of course, that's not routine. That's just like the meeting it should be. So, but you always do have that authority.
And what's the procedure for that? What are the steps that would be in place or that would have to take place?
I think you first should start here in the city commission with the process to revoke the conditional use permit. And then I'm sure that based on your decision there, we end up with a district court on permanent injunction, one way or the other, before we replace it.
Okay. Any other discussions or questions? Okay. Read the ordinance.
An ordinance concerning zoning classification of the following described property located in the corporate limits of the city of Shawnee, Oklahoma, to wit, House 13, 14, 15, Block 23, amended plat of the city of Shawnee, Potawatomi County, Oklahoma, according to the recorded plat thereof, zoning said property from C4 Central Business District to C4P Central Business District with conditional use permit to allow for a stadium, arena, or similar facility, named the official zoning map, city of Shawnee, accordingly.
Okay. Call roll, please.
Holt,
Aye.
Sims,
Aye.
Harrod,
Aye.
Peterson,
Aye.
Collier,
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 15, public hearing and consider approval of a conditional use permit in C1 Neighborhood Commercial District to allow for a tattoo studio for property located at 330 West MacArthur, Suite C. Applicant Kelly and Stephanie Stafford, case number P35-08. Public hearing is now open. Staff report.
Thank you. The applicants have they currently operate a tattoo studio at 1506 North Harrison Street. And a conditional use permit was issued approximately 1 year ago. They're simply going to relocate this enterprise from North Harrison to the proposed site at 330 West MacArthur, Suite C. Staff has reviewed the proposal and finds that it is in conformance with the city's zoning and comprehensive plan standards. Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval. We did not have anybody speak against the proposal, and we have not received any correspondence in the mail. Any questions?
Have they already moved and started business?
No, they have not. I know that the picture in your packet includes a big tattoo sign, but they just jumped the gun a little bit on the sign. They're not in the business yet. No, sir. In the building yet.
They have hours listed on the door. Yeah.
They're anxious to get in, but I imagine maybe tomorrow they might be in there.
Yeah, closed Monday. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone wishing to speak for this request? Anyone to speak against? Okay. Public hearing is now closed. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to accept staff recommendations and approve the zoning or conditional use permit.
Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner Collier,
Second.
a second from Commissioner Holt. Any other discussion? Read the ordinance, please.
An ordinance concerning zoning classification of following described property located in the corporate limits of the city of Shawnee, Oklahoma, to wit, tract of land described as beginning at the southwest corner of Block 5, lines first addition to the city of Shawnee, it's east 100 feet, then it's north 151 feet, then it's west 100 feet, then south 151 feet to the point of beginning, or the recorded plat thereof, less than except the south 7 feet thereof, the city of Shawnee, Potawatomi County, Oklahoma, for the recorded plat thereof, rezoning said property from C1 neighborhood commercial to C1T neighborhood commercial with conditional use permit, amending the official zoning map of the city of Shawnee, Florida.
Thank you. Call roll, please.
Collier.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Harrod.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Motion carries. Item number 16, public hearing and consider approval to rezone property from R3P multifamily residential with a conditional use permit to allow for a daycare to C2 suburban office with a conditional use permit to allow for a daycare for property located at 1402 East Independence, applicant Mehdi Azimi, case P37-08. Public hearing is now open. Staff report.
Okay, this staff report probably looks somewhat familiar to you. This property is located directly adjacent to property that you addressed under agenda item number 13, where the applicant is Mr. Combs. This applicant, Mr. Azimi, is proposing a similar action. The end result would be a C2 classification consistent with the property to the west. Property is currently zoned R3, and it has a conditional use permit to operate a child care center. And a child care center under the R3 zoning district requires a conditional use permit. Even under the C2 zoning district, it also requires a conditional use permit. So if you were to approve this this evening, staff is asking and the applicant is asking that you would approve the rezone as well as the conditional use permit so that the existing use can continue. Like the former case, staff feels that this property is best suited as a C2 classification. There is a little bit of a unique history here. In October 2007, this property was rezoned from A1 to the applicant requested C1, however, it was ultimately rezoned to R3, and again with that conditional use permit for the child care center. However, I think when you look at the property and what's there currently, you've got a large structure, I think it's between 14 and 15,000 square feet, and you look at potential uses there. A lot of those uses are non-residential uses, potentially office uses that will fit into the city's C2 classification. The R3 classification is rather limiting. I think it's unlikely that property is going to be redeveloped to where you have a high density residential, which is what the R3 zoning district is established for. So based on those reasonings and on the fact that when this property is rezoned, it provides a nice complement to the rezoning action that you just took previously. And when you look at the overall neighborhood and the C1 zoning classification at the corner of Elm and Independence, you have a small commercial node there that I think makes sense. And hopefully we won't see future rezonings in this area because I think we've got it right this time, hopefully. Are there any questions?
Question from staff? No? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Does anyone wish to speak to or in favor of this request? Anyone wish to speak against? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Entertain a motion.
I'd move we adopt the planning commission and staff's recommendation.
All right, motion by Commissioner Harrod.
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Stevens. Read the ordinance, please.
An ordinance concerning the zoning classification of following described property located in the corporate limits of the city of Shawnee, Oklahoma, to wit, a tract of land in lot 8, Bradley, second edition, the city of Shawnee, Potawatomi County, Oklahoma, for the recorded plat thereof, described as beginning at a point 135 feet east of the southwest corner of said lot 8, and east 200 feet, and its north 295.6 feet, and its west 200 feet, and south 295.6 feet, from point of beginning, zoning said property from R3P, multifamily, with conditional use permit, to C2B, suburban office, with conditional use permit, and the official zoning map of the city of Shawnee, Florida.
Thank you. Call roll, please.
Harrod.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 17, public hearing and consider approval to rezone property from A1 agricultural to C2 suburban office to a planned unit development with C2 suburban office zoning classification for property located at the northwest corner of MacArthur and Keithley. Applicant Mass Architects, Inc., on behalf of Unity Health Center, case P3608. Public hearing is now open. Staff report.
This staff report summary that I'm about to give you will cover items 17, 18, and 19. Staff report is a combined report that deals with case P3608, S2408, and S2508. And so we have a PUD, and then a preliminary, and then a partial, final plat of phase 1. The proposed project is a large plan medical plaza. The site encompasses 37 acres, and 12.2 acres is included in the final plat, or the first phase. The subject property is currently zoned C2 and A1, and the applicant proposes medical-related uses for each of the lots consistent with the C2 zoning. And so the rezoning action that you're asked to take this evening is to go from the current zoning of C2 and A1 to a PUD classification. And essentially what the PUD classification allows is for a unique zoning classification that's common to use on kind of a master planned large site such as this. However, the applicant is proposing and is stating in their design statement that you have a copy of that all the uses there will be consistent with the C2 zoning. So you're not being asked to make any special exceptions related to land use as part of the PUD. Sometimes you might have a PUD that will come in and it will be part residential and part commercial, and so you'll have a mixing of uses. In this case, they will all be consistent with the C2 zone and no more intense than that. One of the options that the plan unit development process allows is for a comprehensive look at a master plan, and also the potential variation of some code requirements that are not well suited for some large scale development projects. Page 2 of the staff report, which is on page 96 of your packet, goes through those allowances that are being provided through the PUD. I won't go through them, but I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have on them when I'm completed. But you'll see there's a handful of variations that are being permitted should you approve it through this PUD process. Staff has also reviewed the proposed preliminary plat and final plat. Again, the preliminary plat includes 37 acres and 25 lots, and the final plat that you're being asked to approve this evening is just a subset of that, approximately 12.2 acres, and I believe it has eight total lots. And I believe that they're going to move forward with 4 structures on those pending your approval. Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval on this. We did not get any opposition that testified at the hearing, nor did we receive any correspondence in the mail. Planning Commission recommended approval subject to the 6 conditions outlined in the staff report. Are there any questions at this time?
Okay, I'll ask anyone that wants to speak for this request. Please step forward. Anyone wish to speak against it? Okay, we'll close this public hearing. Move to accept staff recommendations.
Second.
All right, I have a motion from Vice Mayor Stevens and a second from Commissioner Harrod to accept staff recommendations with the 6 conditions, correct? Correct. Okay. Any other discussion? Read the ordinance, please.
An ordinance concerning the zone classification of the following described property located in the appropriate limits of the city of Shawnee, Oklahoma, 2 tract of land described as beginning at the southeast corner of the southwest quarter of section 1, township 10 north, range 3 east of Indian Marine, Potawatomi County, Oklahoma. It's north 89 degrees, 15 minutes, 44 seconds west, distance of 365.96 feet. It's north 0 degrees, 40 minutes, 30 seconds east, distance of 33 feet from the point of beginning. Thence from said point of beginning, north 0 degrees, 40 minutes, 30 seconds east, distance of 226.1.87 feet to the north line of said northwest quarter, and south 89 degrees, 18 minutes, 41 seconds east, distance of 661 feet, and south 0 degrees, 44 minutes, 26 seconds west on east line of said southwest quarter, distance of 2312.44 feet, and south 0 degrees, 44 minutes, 26 seconds west, distance of 310 feet, and it's north 89 degrees, 15 minutes, 44 seconds west, distance of 282.08 feet to the point of beginning, according to the recorded plat thereof. Zoning said property from A1 agricultural and C2 suburban office to PUD, land unit development, land uses consistent with C2 suburban office zoning, and amending the official zoning map of the Shawnee accordingly.
Thank you. Call roll, please.
Stevens? Aye. Harrod?
Aye.
Peterson?
Aye.
Collier?
Aye.
Holt?
Aye.
Sims?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 18, consider approval of a preliminary plat for Unity Park Addition located at northwest corner of MacArthur and Keithley, applicant Mass Architects, Inc., on behalf of Unity Health Center, case S2408. Does anyone need any?
I move we adopt the preliminary plat.
A motion by Commissioner Harrod to accept the plat,
Second.
second by Commissioner Holt. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Harrod,
Aye.
Holt,
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 19, consider a final plat for Unity Park Addition located at the northwest corner of MacArthur and Keithley, applicant Mass Architects, Inc., on behalf of Unity Health Center, case number S2508.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Harrod,
Second.
second by Commissioner Holt. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Harrod,
Aye.
Holt,
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 20, consider an ordinance creating a law prohibiting abandoning animals in public or private places. Anybody have any questions after reading the ordinance? Would you like a staff?
This is requested by the Animal Control Division of the Shawnee Police Department and is supported by the police chief, or acting police chief. Apparently, it's become a problem with people finding stray animals and bringing them to the shelter and just disposing, just dropping them off there and leaving them to become our headache. And the district attorney has determined, correctly so, that this does not fit under the cruelty statute. So we're creating this ordinance so that we can prevent that from everybody in the county bringing the pets down to our animal control shelter.
Just out of curiosity, does it have the support of SPAR and ARC?
I personally don't have any idea.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of talk about that in the letter that we got, but I didn't know if it had support of those two organizations.
I've not had any contact with them.
Okay.
Then again, I just get the request from the department.
Got it. Okay.
Don't ask the chief.
Do you want to come up here and speak to it?
I haven't heard anything from ARC or SPAR on this, but I think it's probably in the best interest that instead of just people running up to the animal shelter and kicking the animals out the side door and not even coming in, this is probably both in the best interest of our employees and also the animals, so that and there's a procedure at least bring the animal inside to the shelter instead of just kicking them off on the side of the road and running.
So how are we going to enforce this? Are your animal control people going to be chasing down cars?
This would actually allow the animal control officers to actually, come up, write a citation for these folks.
Like the people are actually going to stop and.
Well, they actually are having them dump them right outside the door, and they're literally chasing people down in the parking lot on this issue. It's like, what are you doing? Stop. Where'd you pick up this animal? That type of thing. So it's for our benefit to see if, one, first, where do they find the animal? Because we don't want to, we hate to euthanize animals. We'd like to find the owner. So at least stop, give us the courtesy, at least telling us where you pick the animal up so that we can at least try to find out if there is an owner. Because the last thing that we want to do is to have to euthanize another animal. And that's the bottom line. We're trying to protect the owners and the pets out there.
The problem I have probably is that my understanding that people from the city haul them to the country and then people from the country haul them back to the city. So.
I'm sure you see that problem living on the kind of the edge of town next to the highway there, that people just will, unfortunately people do that, but this is, at least we, to enact a law against that and try to have greater respect for your property, the animal, and everybody else that's out there, and for the citizens.
Does the group, one of the group's folks, Leadership Shawnee, do they have an opportunity to adopt or to pick these dogs up? Or?
Yes, when we take animals into the shelter, I mean, we try best to first see if we can adopt these animals out. Although we do have a limited time frame on adopting animals out because we do have a limited capacity with the shelter, as was said in Shawnee leadership the other night. So.
Move to approve.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sims to approve this ordinance.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Collier. Any other discussion? Read the ordinance, please.
An ordinance relating to abandoning animals in the city of Shawnee, creating a new section of law to be codified at section 517, Article 1 of Chapter 5 of the Code of the City of Shawnee, Oklahoma, making it illegal to abandon animals in public or private place, providing for suitability and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Call roll, please.
Sims.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Harrod.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Motion carries.
That for the preservation of the public peace, health, and safety, an emergency is hereby declared to exist by reason whereof this ordinance shall be in full force and effect immediately upon passage and approval.
Is there any reason that we have to do this immediately? Okay. Item number 21, hearing no motion. Discuss and consider various regional park locations and assigning responsibility for negotiation to the city staff. I believe this one belongs to Commissioner Harrod.
That's correct. I had, I visited with staff concerning this and I think there's a possibility we could negotiate out maybe at the school land or outside the mall. John has a list of 7 sites we originally, I think, looked at about 9 years ago, John. And I would like still to take a look at the St. Gregory property and see if something can be done with them, school land property west of the mall. And if they wanted to retain part of that frontage along Kickapoo, that would, we could probably work that out. If they wanted to trade some property, we could probably do that. But I think that regional park needs to be visible from I-40 and to get full benefit out of our bucks. And I've talked to the Russell Oliver and his group, and to also visit with the soccer group. And of course, all the soccer groups is interested in is getting some fields, and I understand that. And my suggestion would be there's some possibilities until we finally get this nailed down of using some fields at some of the schools. At the middle school, there's practice fields, and also at the high school. And St. Gregory's has an open field I'm sure that they can make arrangements with to do some practicing and so forth. So there's a lot of availability until we get this nailed down. But I would like to see staff try to negotiate out on at least on the Dockery property out south of the mall, and then the school land, and also on St. Gregory's, and any other land that's feasible close to Interstate 40. And I'd make that motion.
Okay. So Commissioner Harrod has made a motion for staff to investigate or negotiate?
Okay, I try to negotiate a price with them. I think the final decision is going to be the commission's.
Okay, so to negotiate a price on alternative locations for the regional park, specifically
School
land,
St.
Gregory's,
and the land just north of the mall.
And the land north of the mall.
There's also some private land that's there on on 45th Street that I see a for sale sign on. I can afford that, but some of the others we probably can't. I think the St. Gregory's, the reason as opposed to it before is when we had talked to him. I think, John, you talked to him because it had a water park on it. So I think we can maybe go back to that and then go to the School Land Commission before we'd actually decide on moving it to the old airport. I think we have an appraisal on that land north of the mall. We might even consider a condemnation suit on that. But anyhow.
So we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, a second by Commissioner Collier.
Question.
Okay.
You're saying you want city staff involved in this, and I had ideas, possibility of
having a committee that we would have the soccer people and the baseball people involved in this as well, because in the last few weeks, months here, we have had the soccer people and the baseball people on board with the property out north of town out there. And we have put a lot of, there's been a lot of work involved in this with St. Gregory. And of course, we knew about the Dockery case. They had a deal going with Dockery, and then that thing was kind of went away because of Mr. Dockery, Grant Dockery, I guess it was, that was sick. But what I need to think here, what I would like for us to think about is possibly having the mayor set a committee that can work. I mean, just turning it over to city staff,
They're
I'm
actually
not sure
the only
about
ones
that.
that have the authority to negotiate any contracts. The city commissioners don't have, nor the mayor does have. The only thing that they have
But will
is
the-
authorized by the commission.
Will the staff be going out and trying to find locations of where this might possibly be? I mean, I'm thinking of down south on the with the nation.
That'd be fine.
You know,
I wouldn't be
visiting with
opposed
them.
I wouldn't be opposed to a committee of people that, you know, of the associations, both the soccer and the baseball people working with.
I think probably, I don't know, you probably want to redo your motion somehow or another here to include the possibility of a committee, because we have some pretty important people out there that's been dealing with this thing now, what, 8 years? And here we get right down to it, and the only thing that's holding us up talking about it was something that had to do with the gun range out there.
Well, what they, after the soccer people, after they heard the presentation about 4 fields and the expense of the road and the expense of the parking lot and things like that, they want more out of it than just 4 fields and I think that we can provide that at another site.
So we're gonna have the staff come back probably the first or second meeting in January and give us some kind of an idea of what they got going here.
Or as soon as they have something. I wouldn't be, I'd amend the motion to allow the mayor to appoint a committee to work with staff.
I think that'd probably be a good idea to do
Exactly.
that.
I was going to say, can we possibly have a committee that involves staff or uses staff as some kind of a technical guidance,
Well, I
but
think-
to ensure that the properties that are being looked at, should that committee decide to look at any, is appropriate for the uses and acceptable for the uses?
But I think staff's the one that has to do the negotiation.
Okay, right, okay. Should it come to that? Should the committee choose that one piece of property is the number one, and that's what they're gonna go after, then we will go at that point?
I'd like to be on that committee.
That's the next question, okay. So, does your motion still stand, or can we,
I said I'll amend it to
Okay.
include the mayor appointing
Okay.
the committee.
so we will have a sports park committee, can I
That'll be
just
fine.
call it that, that investigates the alternative locations to see if one is viable enough to move forward with negotiations on purchase or lease, whatever the appropriate it would be.
If the Commissioner Collier will accept that on his second too.
Yes, yes.
We accept that. Okay. I had another question and I lost it.
This doesn't affect the ongoing research of the shooting range.
And I would say that
No
this,
effect.
this really can, this committee can become active and it won't stop the work that's being done there also, so that that property can be considered also as an alternative. Okay, so I have an amended motion. Do you have that, Donna?
Would you please restate it for me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually, let me tell
Okay.
you what I think. I
Okay,
know.
give me a start.
Sports park, a motion to form a sports Park Committee to investigate alternative locations for regional sports park, such as School Land, St. Gregory's, and properties north of the mall. Will that cover
Work
it?
with staff.
They'll be part of the committee?
Yes.
Or,
Well, I don't know whether they really will be part of the committee or not, but they're the ones that have to do the
the
negotiations.
committee's not going to include staff, the committee will work with staff, is that
Right.
what you're saying?
Okay,
Okay, the rest of it, sound okay?
that'll work?
Yep.
Is that your motion? That's your motion, that's your second?
Second.
Any other discussion, clarification?
Timeline on appointing this committee.
Tomorrow. I give the mayor a little time, but anyhow.
Yes.
just
Anybody
next few
else
days.
want to be on it
Anybody else want to
that's on here right
volunteer?
now?
Do you want to
Let
put
me
it on
know.
the first meeting in December?
Yeah, for a report,
Or do you want to form it without commission approval of the members?
yes. Is that okay? I mean,
Yeah.
they all have their input anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard about some of the recommendations. If that's okay, we'll just do it that way. We can always add to or subtract from,
What are you
if that's okay.
frowning about, John? Caravan.
Oh, I'm just, traditionally the committee, every committee we form gets voted on eventually by the board. I don't know if we ought to change it now, so.
That'd be fine, we'll do it at the next meeting.
At the next meeting.
That doesn't mean we can't meet though, and
Yeah. Well, and at the
I'm
next
ready to go
meeting,
to
you'll know
work on it.
exactly who from Shawnee Soccer is gonna represent Shawnee Soccer, who
Okay.
from the newly formed youth baseball is
And as
going to
long as-
represent.
As long as you're not a quorum of the commission, of course, you're.
yeah.
To meet,
You're not
you know,
threatened by new business.
that's right. And we
right.
might wanna
That's right.
consider somebody like from the YMCA and just
That's
truly
right.
have designated people. And maybe someone that's not
Representatives.
affiliated with any of those organizations.
Didn't we at one time have a regional park committee? Maybe a few years ago.
We do have now, there's no terms or anything.
Yeah. It was just,
I just made a copy of that today for the.
2 meetings ago?
You mean?
No, this
Okay.
was much
A long
older.
time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
so would you like some of those people? Let's just get the names and let you look.
Just give us the names.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Call roll on that motion, please. Fast.
Okay, wait. I gotta get who made, okay.
Motion from
Herod?
Herod, second
Aye.
by Collier.
Collier,
Aye.
Holt,
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries, thank you. Okay, number 22, committee report on city manager application review with commission discussion and possible action related to said report.
Kelly Howard is conducting the background investigations, and hopefully sometime this week she will have them concluded. I've touched base with her a couple of times. She has run, like the DMV reports and things like that, but she is inquiring and making phone calls to try to determine whether or not we can possibly narrow the group down. And so that's where we are, hopefully. I do know that I talked to Mayor Peterson, and now that Commissioner Harrod is here, we now have a quorum, and she has agreed to step down from the committee. So that would just leave Commissioners Holt and Harrod and I to continue on this venture. And we'll be getting together, I'm sure, within the next week or two to possibly discuss doing some additional interviews. And Kelly and I have some ideas on how we could do that to maybe narrow it down before we might possibly have someone to bring before the commission.
Was the committee allowed last time to go ahead and do another phone interview? Should that be necessary?
Yes.
Okay.
But
That's
I
where
was
it
waiting
stands right now.
Right, but I was
Okay.
waiting until she had finalized the background investigations so that we would have an opportunity to decide whether or not we wanted to do an additional phone interview of all 5 that were remaining, or possibly weed down to another. And we also talked about the ability to possibly ask the candidates or the applicants to arrange for a video teleconference where we could possibly do the telephone interviews via video cam so that we could actually see the people and maybe try to narrow down questions and have more of a live interview before we brought them before the commission as a whole.
Okay, that's where we are. All right. No action. Anything else about that? 23, discuss and consider hiring executive search firm to assist in finalizing the selection of a new city manager. This was yours also.
Well, I think that several months ago, I don't remember when it was, but anyhow, before the election, we all had a meeting down at the community center, and I think, I know Commissioner Sims and I agreed that we need to, before a final decision was made, to hire a search firm. And the reason I still insist on that is there's information that Kelly does a good job, but there's also information that she can't legally obtain. And I don't want us to drop the ball here. I want to make sure we get with the best candidate. And I wouldn't say open it up to more applications, but I would say that before we continue or before we narrow it much further, that we have the search firm to do the actual research and background checks. Because like I say, they can do things. And I mean, if we're going to not hire a search team, then that means somehow a non-quorum is going to have to go to these locations and spend a few days, because I'm not going to vote to hire a city manager until we've done one of the two. Because I know what they're not going to give anybody on their resumes and their applications for you to contact. It's going to be a negative.
Is it acceptable to you to give the committee of the 3 commissioners the ability to discuss this as they discuss what the background information has found and the candidates that you have remaining, and what the work to do in the future is needed, if it's a reference check, and how you might do that, and how you might, or if you might, have an outside source do that for you? Is that something that the committee can discuss when they find out backgrounds and how many people we're talking about?
Also like the committee to be able to contact at least a couple of search firms to find out how much money we're talking about and bring that back.
But you can do that and bring that back in front to the commission.
Yeah. But I'm serious now about the search team. I mean, you're either going to have to hire somebody to do the investigation, or 2 or 3 of us, including or myself or 2 or 3 others, are going to have to go to the sites and visit and get approval from the applicant to go to the site.
Well, I agree that we got a lot of work to be done on this. The committee has done a good job, but we don't want to jump into something that we don't need to be jumping into yet. And also we want to keep in mind of Chell, representative from Chell, who would have came up here, and this was brought up quite some time ago. I think he was located out of Chickasha. Was no cost other than just his cost. In other words, he wasn't going to charge us. And I don't know if that's still in, but that's something I want to pursue if we get to the point to where we have to do what you suggest, sir.
Well, the comment I'll make is it's hard for a person that has a full-time job to devote the necessary time and to expedite this and do the work. That's the only
well, that's true, but the commissioners that were here before and heard his presentation were pretty well satisfied that he may be able to do the job, and it might save the city a lot of money. I'm saying we need to keep him in mind as well.
But the whole point is that a dollar saved may not be a dollar saved if we don't have the right kind of information, if we don't do it, in a good, orderly fashion. And when you start talking about hiring manager, and if he doesn't, he's gonna have a time to perform, and if he doesn't perform, then we're not gonna wait 3 years.
I agree. I think it's something that we can come back at a later time, probably the first meeting in.
Well, we need the commission to give us the authority then to contact these search firms and try to negotiate out a price, and then continue on with.
Do the research.
Well, so are you asking though, just for like, you want a search firm to review the applicants that we have now?
Or just the ones that we've finalized out with, the 4 or 5.
Right, we've narrowed it down to 5.
And then if
And
they
there's,
have.
yeah, and there's the potential that once we receive the information from Kelly Howard, that the committee may be able to narrow it down further. And so I think what Commissioner Harrod is asking is for possibly the committee to go ahead and contact a search firm and say, okay, hey, look, we've narrowed it down to 5 people or 4 people. What are you going to charge us to do the background checks on these people? So that then we can come back and say, hey, look, we don't have to hire them the full-blown $20,000, but for X amount of dollars, they'll help us with the candidates that we have. Because
Or-
we do have some really good applicants. I
Or
think.
if they have they may have had a candidate that they didn't place somewhere that came in a strong second that they would recommend for this job. I mean, I don't want to
Now-
limit it to those.
Now,
4 or
wait a
5.
minute. It's my understanding, though, and we maybe need to clarify a little bit, that if we go outside the pool of applicants we have now, we have to completely re-advertise. Is that correct? That's my
If we
understanding.
don't change the procedure at all, like hire a search firm that's gonna go out and get.
Right. If they
Yes.
bring in an outside person to us now, we have to completely re-advertise.
Is that correct, Don?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Okay.
So would it be possible to authorize this committee some dollars that if they found this search firm, that they could go ahead and engage them, if you will, to start this background process?
I don't want to do that.
This is a commission, this will be a commission effort
Yeah.
when you start talking about dollar bills. And I don't know. What I would suggest that we follow up on HR's business, see where they're at, and if we feel like Commissioner Harrod, his suggestion, we might want to consider this person that has already been before us with a pretty good presentation and go from there. But no decision can be made unless it comes before the full commission.
That's right.
But the committee can investigate.
Yes.
That firm or another one that we may have heard from and see, because this is a whole different scope, and bring back a proposal to us.
Well, let's first
Okay.
see what we've got and then go
Yeah.
from there.
Another point you need to think about is how much information, positive or negative, does staff need to know about the applicant? I mean, that is a really concern, is how much information does staff need to know? I mean, if there's negative things or positive things, how much of that do they need to know? I mean, if we don't hire a search firm, or if we don't have someone to determine that, just provide it to the commission only, then I can see some potential for problems in the future.
But I don't know that the search firm can provide us that information in executive session, can they?
I mean, they can provide it.
I mean, it's all going to be public.
Right.
So
It doesn't
we-
have to all be disclosed, but
So staff is going to know regardless, because everybody in the city of Shawnee is going to know. And I think we just have to, up until now, trust that staff understands ethical responsibilities and professionalism.
Well, a suggestion on that would be when we get to that point, bring commission in and staff. They can see exactly what we've been talking about and doing for the last 2 months. It's possible. I
That could be a
mean, something to think
recommendation
about.
from the committee.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So is the committee comfortable with that?
Fine.
So it's an additional,
do we need any kind of a motion on this,
responsibility
John, or
to
just
continue
consensus or
on.
what?
I'd probably prefer a motion, just to give an outline, particularly if it's gonna involve any kind of, consideration of expenditure.
I'd make a motion that the president, committee, continue to, review the applications, and also try to develop an agreement with a search firm and bring back the commission ASAP.
If, a search firm if necessary, if the committee decides, right?
Yeah.
And that committee is now going to involve just 3 of us, is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I'm not, I mean, I'm here to say that I don't think that this commission, I mean, are we gonna pay, let's say Carl and Mayor and I to go somewhere in Timbuktu to check someone out? Cause that's the only way you're gonna find out for sure.
I'm not comfortable with requiring the committee to negotiate with the search firm.
All we're gonna do is say, how much you gonna charge us to finalize this? And
How about investigate the possibilities or the details to proceed to the next step. And if that means that that's what you want to do, then you'll
I'm
have an
comfortable with
idea
that.
of who that may be and how much that might
How
cost.
much that, yeah.
You can't negotiate, I mean, you cannot finalize a contract, you
Oh, no,
cannot
we can't do
spend
that.
money,
Yeah.
but you can investigate the parameters needed for assistance.
I
How
think
about
Frank
that?
would agree that the bottom line is gonna be, and he's worked with them and I have too, is search firm.
But it's odd the way this has come together, that we've started one process and we're maybe bringing another one in. I do like what, I do think it makes sense if we can find that person, but I hate to get bogged down in all of this. I think it's something that's gotta happen post haste.
You know, I was suggesting that when we get this thing with the HR, get the commission right here, this is what we've got. And we've pretty much agreed on some of the applicants we've got as being pretty strong. We might still be able to save ourselves some money if we let the committee do what they were asked to do and come back to the commission with it.
And this committee's been meeting fairly regularly, just didn't have a meeting in the
Whenever-
last 2 weeks, but
Waiting on
making
information.
We're waiting
making some
on
progress.
information.
So I expect a meeting in the next week to 10 days
Yeah. Kelly can
to
see if she-
happen
Yeah.
with the recommendation. So, and you need to be
Well,
doing
let me
some
tell you
work.
about the next week to 10 days. We're getting into the Thanksgiving area here. The staff is going to be shut, City Hall will be shut down. I know I'm going out of town and going to be gone. I'm thinking we may be able to hit this thing like the first part of December at the earliest, with the HR doing what it's got to do.
Kelly had advised me she had hoped to have everything finalized early this week, like today or tomorrow, kind
Okay,
of.
so we might be able to meet Monday or Tuesday of next week.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I mean,
So there we go.
this has been a
We're
priority.
on the motion.
Here we go.
Okay.
We have a motion by Commissioner Harrod to authorize the committee to continue moving forward with the original plan with the city manager hire, and to, in addition to that, to research, investigate any additional assistance that committee may need.
Perfect.
How about that?
Got it.
I need a second.
Authorize, I'm sorry, I
Okay.
really got, because I had committee continue to review applicants and try to develop agreement with search firm if the committee feels it is necessary to investigate the parameters. And then what you just said wasn't what I had at all.
Well, it's the shorter
Authorize.
version of that,
Okay.
probably.
Authorize the
Authorize
committee
committee, right, to continue with their pre-established work, how about that?
pre-established work, okay.
And investigate, what'd I say, not the parameters, but to investigate,
Any additional assistance?
any additional assistance they may need.
That's
How about that?
Okay.
Okay, we
Sorry.
have a motion.
Second.
Okay, thank you.
Let's let him say it right.
That's right. And a second by Commissioner Collier. Call roll, please, fast.
Harris.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Stevens. Sims.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Motion carried. So we'll be looking forward to that report. Item number 24, consider declaring a vacancy in Ward 5 of the City Commission and discuss City Commission Policy Number 10 regarding the procedure for filling the vacancy. Everybody read that policy?
That timeline is, just as quick, January, what'd you say, 5th, is it?
That's as quick as we can do it, according to the city manager policy.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And we can get it done, if you approve it tonight, we can certainly start the process this week.
Start the advertising, which is
Start
the
the
first part, so we can have
advertising.
applications at the next meeting, is what this says. So the meeting in December,
We'll have the deadline December 1st.
That day, I mean, yeah.
Right.
We'll advertise over 2 weekends, just because of the holidays, and give people a chance to, so they'll, get both weekend editions of paper.
so we'll open the applications on December 1st at our meeting then. And then we will all know, as will the applicants who applied, and that will give us 2 weeks before our December 15th meeting.
The city clerk's office in that time will, do some checking to make sure these are qualified.
They qualify.
Voters in that ward, and if their age, requirements are met. things
Right.
like that. Then, if everything works out, they'll be interviewed by the commission at the following meeting on the 15th.
And
at that point, that same time, we will select.
we will select on December 15th and select a candidate, and then they will be sworn in at the January 5th meeting.
All right, I so move that we, declare the vacancy and
Follow
and
policy
follow
number
the
10.
policy number 10.
Second.
Thank you very much. I have a motion by Commissioner Harrod and a second by Commissioner Sims. Call roll, please.
Harrod.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Motion carries. And we also, do we normally include a map in the, okay. Number 25, discuss and consider a date for a commission workshop to establish priorities and goals for the city commission.
If you say you take, when will the new commissioner take a seat?
January 5th. Can we defer this until we have a commissioner?
That's what I was gonna say, we could defer this, the person, when I have attended the Economic Development Foundation meetings, we had, one of the, what was his name, from the PACE group. Yeah. But anyhow, he's, suggested or said that he would come do this at just for his expense only. So I think that tentatively we ought to look at some January dates, after the appointment of the, new city commissioner, to do that, and he'll be in town tomorrow and the next day. So, the mayor will be seeing him, so I would like for her to be able to schedule those dates and find out how much expenses we're talking about and things like that, so we can move on with it.
Why don't we clarify a little bit, because some of us were at that meeting, just kind of what was envisioned. I don't know that Billy was at that meeting, and we heard the presentation, but kind of what it was more of a workshop to try to facilitate what are our goals and our priorities, but something, although it has to be an open meeting,
Right.
being in a more informal setting where we truly can kind of, in a sense, and I'll say this, mend some fences, try to find what we all agree on so that we can move forward and be more positive. And of course, you know, the press can be there or whatever, because it'll have to be an open meeting, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be up here in the commission chambers, or maybe even here in Shawnee. I don't know. Do we have to have something like this in Shawnee, or?
No, it has to be a place of reasonable access.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it's something that we could do, you know, maybe at the Expo Center or at St. Gregory's or OBU or
Votech.
somewhere, or the Votech, somewhere where we can really just not be quite so public.
I'd like,
necessarily.
I mean.
And staff doesn't have to get involved in that, or they can be, or, so
But
that's kind of where we were headed
I'd like
with this.
some way to authorize the mayor to get the information, try to set up a date or coordinate some dates and some, and his expenses.
Mayor, there's a calendar of January dates. We do have the New Year's holiday, the Martin Luther King holiday also in there, as well as our two regular city commissions.
Can we defer this item to the January 5th meeting so that we can, select the date for sure then? I mean, we'll work by the 15th of December, we'll know who the selected person is, and we
Are
can
you
start
gonna
to
go
work
ahead
on
and try
calendars.
to find out how much money we're talking about expense-wise, and if he's available in January?
Well, sure.
Okay.
That's what you would like for me to do.
I agree that it'd be,
Okay? How about that?
need a
Motion?
motion to,
Well, and I think it's important for everyone to understand, are we talking about a full daytime meeting?
Yes.
And so everybody, when we start, when we all start comparing calendars, we
Right.
need to think about,
That's
you know,
right.
some of us are gonna take off work, and so we really, you know,
you act like I don't work, I work every day.
I know you do, you work really hard, and you're gonna take off work. But we need to think about that, I mean, because this is truly, you know, something that we're gonna have to truly look at our calendars and just be
That's right.
committed to.
That's right.
We are not going to schedule anything else that day, and if it means a vacation day or whatever, we have to be committed to it.
Okay.
What's the word looking for?
Defer.
Okay, defer this item 25 till January the 15th. Fifth
Fifth, thanks.
commission meeting.
Okay. Do you have a second?
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Harrod and a second by Commissioner Collier. Call roll, please.
Harrod.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carried. Thank you. New business.
None.
Administrative reports.
I have a couple of Jim. I'll let Jim go first.
Okay.
I want to explain some water stuff.
Do we need to take notes?
Yeah. I want to explain, there's going to be a notice in the water bills in somewhere around December about THM and TOCs, and I'm going to explain what the deal is. I'll go a little bit of background. THMs are recorded on a running annual average, which means 12 months worth of data, and as one number goes on, one falls off. And we've had a little over a year ago, that's when we had our big numbers on THMs before we went on chloramines. So we had one number, big number, it's 148. The MCL, maximum contaminant level, is below 80. And that 148 put us on the running annual average 80.8. So we're just barely out. All this is from a year ago. Keep that in mind. Our numbers since January have been in the 40s and 50s. So ever since chloramines, the THM numbers have been great. This is just from a year ago, because that one big number on that running annual average will haunt you for quite a while until it falls off. So the big number has messed us up on that as far as the running annual average, but since January our numbers have been good. Our average right now is 53. We're now went on to what's called stage 2 disinfection byproduct rule, which just makes it more stringent. You have to take more tests. Our average on that now is 41, so we're good. It's just the rules are the rules, and
DEQ's running a little bit late on their notices, so we gotta mail that out. Even though we're in compliance now, we still have to mail it out for the year running annual average.
Okay.
And then the TOC, which is part of that, is total organic carbon. That's what reacts with chlorine to make THMs. But we're not using chlorine now, we're using chloramines. So that's why our numbers are down on THMs. TOCs are regulated because they can act as a medium for chlorine to react to form THMs. The numbers on that get real complicated. You can either do a percentage or you can do a specific ultraviolet absorption thing, and it gets real complicated. But every time certain parameters of your water change, the percentage changes. It just gets crazy to keep up with. And the lakes, what caused that, it was also a year ago when the lakes were down. They filled up real quick. Everything had grown up, grass. Now that's underwater. Now that's dying. That's organics. So that makes the organic content come up. But the reason they regulate that is for THMs, which we have that under control. But that's also a rule, and you got to do it. Even though what it's guarding against we've got under control, you still have to meet this. So we're working with DEQ, we're working with the lab that does our samples, because they work with other cities on how to fine-tune things and try to get this. I mean, we're right, like if we're required 35% reduction, we'll get like 33, 31, 34. So we're right there. But even what it's regulating, we've got to solve it. We've got the problem solved, but you still have to do that. And we're trying to keep an eye on it. We've bought a in-house TOC analyzer so we can catch process changes real quick instead of sending it to still water and waiting on the results. Now we can see what's going on now, and that's helped a lot. But the lakes are always changing, either the temperature, rain, turning over. I mean, it looks just like it's just sitting there, but it's not. There's just always stuff going on in it. You got to try to stay ahead of it and all that. But as a whole, the water, our THM numbers are as good as they've ever been. It's just this 148 has got in the average and kind of monkeyed it up a little bit. But even with that high number, we were just barely out. So we have to put notices in the December bill. But I just wanted to stress that since January we've been in compliance. We don't have problems, but we have to follow the rules.
When the 148 rolls off.
It is off now.
Okay.
That's why our average now is 53, because it did finally fall off. But they're slow on giving us notices. And
so you have to notify for the time that it was still on. Got it.
That's just the nature of the beast, I guess.
Cleaning out the sludge or something, or are we doing some?
Right, we're cleaning the sludge lagoons out. That's by Thanksgiving. They should have the biggest one cleaned out, and then they'll go to the little one. But that's been an ongoing problem for 20 years about DEQ wanting it done, and never could find the money. But we got it. We just hunkered down and get up some stuff and got it done. So it's ongoing. DEQ's tickled about that because we're finally doing something they want us.
Creating any problem with any contaminants in the water or anything?
On the what?
Or is that creating any problem for the water supply or for the water in our
No,
house?
it's all being done by the books, and it's being hauled and
I see
plowed
the
in
truck coming in, yeah.
fields,
Yeah.
farmers for conditioning their soil, and it's really not a contaminant. It's just something else regulated. I mean, they regulate everything. It's just mud that's come out of the lake.
Have you had any complaints about maybe just some silt or dirt in the water or anything?
No, not that I know of. But that's the story on the notice. If anybody's got any other questions, I'll answer them, or get with me later if you think of something or whatever. Thanks.
Fine. Thanks, Jim. Anyone else?
I have a couple of announcements. About maybe 10 days ago, we started advertising for police chief in-house. I think at the request of some of you that we go ahead and appoint a police chief right now. So we've received 2 in-house applications, which the management team will be doing the interview process tomorrow on those 2 applicants. I expect that we'll make a decision at least by the end of the week at the latest. And I will email you all, let you know what the decision is, and then it'll be on the next agenda for acknowledgement. So I expect we'll probably have a permanent police chief soon.
So what the procedure is if you have someone in-house, then they have first priority, is that correct?
You open it up in-house, and if you get any viable candidates from in-house, then there's no requirement to go outside. And both of our in-house applicants are very well qualified. So that's the story on that. So is there any questions? The other thing I'd like to bring up is the city's budget. Vice Mayor Stevens and Mayor Peterson and Neva and Marcy from Crawford & Associates, we met this morning to kind of get out in front of the current year's budget, kind of look at things where we stand now. The whole nationwide economic problems kind of are slow to hit us, but they are hitting us, and we noticed that in our last month of the September sales tax. Things were taking a downward turn. So we want to jump out in front of this and try to re-examine maybe where we are in our budget right now. Look at areas that we may need to slow down in our spending, or even if it can be delayed to another budget year, go ahead and do that. We're looking at all options right now. We want to kind of wait for another month or two and see how the next sales tax reports come in. But if they continue to on the downward track, we may be looking at cutting or trying to maybe even $500,000, cutting that much from our budget to just, so these are things that, I hate to be gloom and doom and predict the worst, but I think you have to look at that as a possibility. So the management team will meet on Monday after our regular staff meeting, and we'll bring our budgets, and we're all going to kind of look at things and try to decide if there's anything we can cut, anything we can, what we're running, fast on, what we're, anything we can put off. So, anybody have any questions about that?
You and I've talked about this, and I just wondered if we ever established exactly what the carryover was from our last budget.
We do have that amount. I don't have it in front of me right now, Neva.
I don't have it off the top of my head. We're making progress on the audit, but that's not done yet. I don't anticipate them making any more changes to my numbers, but off the top of my head, no, I don't have the ending fund balance.
It's different from what was audited? And
well, it was a projection that maybe it was over projected and to a higher number than it actually, in actuality, it came in a little lower than we had expected it to.
When we go through the budget process, we take February's numbers and March's numbers. And then we have to project what we think is going to happen in April, May, and June. Some of the time when money's, people start speeding up their spending a little bit at the end of the year. And that spending was a little more than we had expected. And so that decreased the fund balance. We also have been decreasing our fund balance a little bit over the years by using more of our fund balance as budgeted revenue.
Doesn't it, on July the 1st or June the 30th, doesn't the auditing firm certify what that carrier over is going to be?
They can't.
Not at that
point.
No, they can't, because we have to, under the accounting principles, we have to wait until we get our revenue in July and August that was earned in May and June. So at July 1st, no, because they don't have the information yet. It's gonna come in the next 60 days.
But all the expenditures are either approved on a purchase order or already encumbered, and they can't be encumbered after June the 30th, right?
But we still have revenue coming
Yeah.
in that we have earned, and that would change the fund balance.
So, the fund balance that you emailed to me, was that established and it had a auditor's name on it? Somebody did.
That wasn't our auditor, and that was to establish our fund balance at July 1 of 07. 07. That was done by Mike Crawford. That is the correct number as of 07, but that was a year ago. He's not our auditor. We have him come in, well, he came in to do some cleanup work and corrections that have happened in the past. But that's only, that number he came up with is only for July 1st of 07. But what I sent you is correct.
So the staff is looking at tightening our belts and looking at some other options. And just keep that in mind that we're going to be doing that. So, if you have
And
any
you'll keep us
questions,
advised.
we will do that.
Okay. Any other administrative reports? Commissioners' comments?
Welcome,
Yes.
gentlemen.
Yes.
Ma'am.
And I also want to thank you two for working out the item before. I think that speaks volumes for how I hope we can continue to move forward, and this group can, and I think that was a very good first step for this meeting, and I appreciate it. Okay. Anything else?
I'd like, to make some comments first about the budget and everything else, because I'm familiar with developing budgets, and I have a difficulty with money coming in actually after and I understand how that works, because you can't, the state's in control of sending your tax money, so I understand that, but I don't understand that we didn't have we had an audit, didn't we? Somebody audited the books even after the fund balances and everything else. Are we still in the process of being audited, or what?
Yeah, that's for that.
Right. If you're talking about the year ended June 30th of 08.
Yeah.
Yes, we're in the process of being audited.
Okay. Right.
And we should be close to that being finished, shouldn't we? I mean, that's due to be finished December 30th.
Yes.
But it has to
By
be by
law.
law.
That's
isn't
by
it?
law. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. That's
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
Okay.
submitted to the state auditor's office by December 31st.
31st.
The comment I have is I appreciate everybody's support and understanding on the items that I put on the agenda, and I will try to keep staff further informed, Phyllis and everyone else, if I have items to be placed on the agenda, and I do appreciate John, you helping me out on this. Thank you very much.
Can we also, under Tom Smith's comments, under citizens' participation, can you investigate that and bring something forward to us if we need to look at that? Will you investigate and see where that is and let us know? Okay.
We need a copy of the budget too.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, the new commissioners, I think, I guess Frank and I are the only one that don't have copies of the budget, and I'd like to, you have a hard copy of it? I saw commissioners up here looking at through books, and I assume that somebody has a hard copy of it.
They can get you one.
Okay.
You might stop in Cindy's office. I know she was putting together big boxes of things for both of you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Not tonight, but.
And we'll quiz you on it the next time we see you.
Bring a truck.
What? Really?
That's right. That's right. Anything else?
I move we adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Herod, second by Vice Mayor Stevens. Call roll, please.
Harrod.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries, thank you. I will reconvene the Shawnee Municipal Authority. We are on item number 4, consider approval of consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Harrod, second by Commissioner Sims. Call roll, please.
Harrod.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Carries, thank you. Administrative reports.
None.
New business. Motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Holt, second by Commissioner Collier. Call roll, please.
Holt.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Harrod.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. I will reconvene the Shawnee Airport Authority. Item number 4, consider approval of consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Holt,
Second.
second by Commissioner Collier. Call roll, please.
Holt.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Harrod.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. This is item number 5, administrative reports.
None.
New business. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Harrod, second by Commissioner Holt. Call roll, please.
Harrod.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Sims.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. We are adjourned.